Hi. So, this is a curriculum overview. I did a Facebook Live on this, but it was crazy. Like my dogs, and I was answering comments, and so I am just going to show you all the things here. So, and then I'll just send this video to people. So, we do a Charlotte Mason approach to homeschooling, and I'll actually put a card here from another channel of a homeschool mom, and I love the way that she explains the Charlotte Mason method of homeschooling. So I will put a card up there for her video explaining that. But our main curriculum is this, My Father's World, God's Creation from A to Z. So this is my main curriculum. Well, I was noticing a lot of just gaps for my oldest. He is special needs, so the reading portion wasn't working for him, and neither was the math. Those two things were too slow, not repetition enough. And of course, I modify things to work for me. So, like, trying to grab all the stuff. So, this is like the companion book. So, like, if, I'll show you Water Week, because we loved Water Week. Where are we at? Where? Should have had this bookmarked. Okay, Water Week. So, I skipped all of, like, the scientific names, because it was just the first 2 days I tried it, and it didn't work for him, so we cut it out. So we were just talking about the water cycle, and I read that every single day, and then I read our poem every single day. We read A Drop Around the World, which is a living book, every single day. I try to add a living book because I think next year we're going to do fully Simply Charlotte Mason. I'll make a video about that later. But I also add something from the Book of Virtues. So like this week, we're studying insects. I from insects. So the concept of the week is, I am a wise child, so I work hard. Now, so we're in Proverbs 6. And then Work While You Work poem from the McGuffey Readers, the McGuffey Primer, which we're going to talk about. And then The Ants and the Grasshopper from Aesop's Fables. And then he does his copy work, and he hasn't done narration for this week yet, so this is from last week, and I had him explain it to me, which I explained this in my Facebook Live. Like, I do not expect my kids to sit fully still when they're doing school, so they will play with clay, or I make sensory bends out of like beans or something. These are our math manipulative. What else? They color. So like this week with insects, I have a whole coloring book with just insects. And Elliot has really been into art the past couple of months, so he has decided to just sit and color a picture, and that's fine. So they're doing something with their hands while we do school, and that if you do anything with like early childhood education, or if you read anything from like Charlotte Mason, it's good for them. So, and I know that this is working, and it's okay, and they're not being distracted because of this. So this might not mean much to you, but this is huge for me. Okay, so this is Elliot's narration of the water cycle, and I had him explain it to me. So he said, "Mom, that is a lake or the ocean." And I said, "Okay." And he said, then it gets hot and it goes up, and that's how we get clouds. I said, okay. And then it rains, Mom. That's the water cycle. He didn't use the exact like science names that were in the, companion book, but or what's it called? God's Amazing World from Apples to Zebras. I didn't use like evaporation and precipitation and all that because he was getting confused. So I made it very simple. And then in the living book, the Drop Around the World, they were using that. So he heard the words, but, and I have to do this every 5 days, and it's probably because 5 in a row is what we've always done. So it works best for him. Because for him, it's about repetition. He needs that repetition, which is awesome because that is how he's retaining it. Okay, so then we are subbing. I'm doing something different than the way that she is doing language arts or reading, whatever you call it. So I found, and I will also hook the card here. Everything will be in the description. Mom Delights. And she's a homeschool mom of 15 kids, and she suggests the McGuffies, the McGuffey readers. And what did I do with it? It's something, y'all. Hold on. I just did this on Facebook. Here we go. All right. Okay. So, Ray's arithmetic. So these two, Ray's arithmetic, this is math. I think they were both picked up by Mont Media, or I could be wrong. Anyway, I know Ray's was. So these are classical, not trivium classical education. Classical meaning like schoolhouse. If you watch When Calls the Heart, I know the McGuffies are in that show, but this is based on a schoolhouse approach. So if you're homeschooling multiple different kids, obviously they're going to be on different levels. So it just makes it easier for you as the teacher. And also, this is super affordable, okay? The McGuffey readers are not expensive, but praise the Lord, God is so good. My mother-in-law had every single McGuffey reader. She had a homeschool mom that she knew that gave her all of them, and my mother-in-law never used them. And she gave them to me. So the only one I had to buy was the primer, and it was like $6. And I think they can use this until first grade or second grade. Here, I'll show you the last lesson. It's pretty. I couldn't read. I have dyslexia, so like I couldn't read till I was 11. But here is the words. That's the very last lesson in the book. So I don't know what grade this goes up to. The Man and His Horse. It's the second to last. But they build on top of each other. Same thing with the Ray. It's very, very slow. So like counting objects and just really doing number recognition. Okay, so the reason why I had to switch is because with my oldest, he has sensory processing disorder, and any neurodivergent brain, sensory processing disorder, ADHD, ADD, dyslexia, Asperger's, which is what my son has, they get really distracted. So I was noticing I bought Matthew C, and that was just not a good fit for him. And we tried it. I bought the primer, and for months and months and months we tried it, and he was hyper focusing on why are the manipulatives each one, why are they a different color? And that thought was just locked in his head, and he he couldn't get past it. So I was like, okay, this is not working. So we have to stick to like real world objects or neutral colors, colors that we would see more in nature. So like stuff like this, he's totally fine. Now, and he's been asking to do worksheets. So I bought, you know, this at the dollar store. Same thing as Ray's, counting objects. And then I have him practice writing his numbers. Or where they at? There we go. This is just, once again, Dollar Tree. Just laminated. I just wrote them. He practices writing. On Amazon, the Mott Media for the Rays does make a worksheet or work notebook. And it's kind of cool because they have I can statements, which builds their confidence, you know. I can write 1. I can write 2. Elliot was very frustrated because he does not write his 2s like this. And he was very like, Mom, I do not write my 2s like that. So, anyway. Okay, so then they want them to be able to write their numbers. So here's 10. And then they have like a little chart. And this was super affordable. This was only $5 or $6 on Amazon. Okay, and then they move into, I can count 3. Like just very, very slow and very, very, just very gentle, right? And they're counting. I mean, you could make this yourself, but then they do word problems, verbal word problems. So they call this mental math, which was like a really big thing in that era. 2 and, you know, 3 and 2 are blah, you know. Anyway, so it's a very, very, very simple workbook, but I picked it because it's black and white, and it's not distracting, it's not overstimulating. They do have like a test in the back, if that's your thing. You can totally do that too. So, do that. And then I couldn't find them, but my sister plays D&D and Magic, if y'all have ever heard of those card games. And they have these really weird dice. And they have like different numbers like all around them. So they had a set at the Dollar Tree. So I bought a set and we will play math games with that. Also, flashcards I have for math are realistic objects. So once again, stuff in nature, realistic, strawberries, goldfish, and then they also want them to know the word, but I'm just focusing on, you know, writing it. There's lemons, watermelon, one has keys, you know, what are those, hats, a butterfly, you know, anyway. And my mother-in-law bought these for me at Mardell's. So, and then with My Father's World, they do 1 letter a week, which we've always done that. But now I'm really focusing on letter recognition, like, you know, what is the name of the letter? What is the sound? Like, what is the sound? What is the sound? What is the sound? And then, okay, what is the letter? We haven't started building words yet. So, like, in My Father's World, oh my gosh, I think she has them reading like 8 to 10 words right now, and Elliot's just not ready, and that's fine. We're taking it slow. We do mastery, and it's totally fine. Totally fine. I did add an art for the week. So when Elliot was a baby, I bought this. That was like $20. I bought it when he was like a year old. But it has like different letters and then a painting. And that is our art for the week. And we just look at it, you know. So the Bible is in the curriculum, but sometimes I add more or take away. They do Play-Doh with their letter. And then I just started this week, the 10s and 1s house with the pipe cleaners. And then we do a living book for the week. And then this week we're doing insects. So we actually have an ant farm. So we're focusing on like going out in nature and like looking at bugs and studying our ant farm, and like I put them on the table while we're doing school. So and then I try to include some type of fairy story, fairy tale, something for the week. So the last 2 weeks is A Brothers Grimm, and we're doing Rumpelstiltskin. He just finished it today. Dad and him finished it. But I just want to show you guys the artwork. It is so beautiful. I really, really like this guy. Paul O Zielinski. I think that's how you say his name. He's the illustrator and the author. I mean, look at that. My camera is probably not doing it justice at all. But man, it's just beautiful. But he's got one on Rapunzel, he's got one on Hansel and Gretel, so I will definitely be buying more of his books. But anyway, so that is like, yeah. So, oh, and then another thing, where did it go? Oh, he'll randomly ask to do a worksheet. I mentioned that. Just whatever. From the worksheet that I found. And we'll do just 2 problems if he wants. I don't make him do a whole page. And we only do worksheets if he asks, because I'm not pushing, busy work. Where did it? I don't know where it went. But what was it? With the McGuffey readers, before I move on to that, with the McGuffey readers, Mom Delights actually has a reading plan where you can like download it for free. A lot of her stuff is free. Almost all of it is free. Or like stupid cheap. Like she's such a blessing in that way. But anyway, there's another mom. I'll link her stuff. Revival something homeschool. But anyway, so she's got a reading plan, Mom Delights, for how to teach your kids how to read with the McGuffey readers, because they don't come with any instruction. It's just, that. So, this next week, with all the letters that we've learned, I'm going to start building, 2 to 3 letter words for Elliot to, start to sound out and learn. We're just going to do 1 word at a time. So anyway, I was saying what I was going to say before the McGuffies was what I realized was very helpful for him is, or both of my kids, whenever we're done with a subject, they get a sticker. So Bible and poem, sticker, science and, theology, or discovering nature, natural theology is what I call it, sticker, math, sticker, letter sounds, sticker, reading our book, sticker, playing outside, sticker. That's been very motivating for him, and that has been very helpful. So, I think that was it. Yeah. I was going to say something, but I don't remember. I'm so tired. What was I going to say? I don't even remember. I don't remember what I was going to say. Anyway, so check out the links below if this video blessed you or encouraged you. Please comment below, reach out to me. My social media stuff will be in the description as well. And I'm passionate about homeschooling and apologetics. So, I didn't mention that. How we do apologetics in our homeschool. It depends on what we're talking about. So, like, last week was Water Week, and we really didn't get into a lot of apologetic stuff. I mean, I guess we kind of did, because we were talking about that the water cycle actually wasn't clicking with him. And so I literally just said, the God of the Bible. I was like, God, I was like, he's the God of order. I was like, so Elliot, like, look at the water cycle. Like, this is order, right? Like, this is intentional. Like, this is, God made it to work in order. It's a, like, how intentional is that? How cool is that? So I call that like a natural apologetic. I don't even know. But anytime that we talk about, anything, like, we always try to bring it back to the Lord, like, every single time. And I feel like that's incorporating apologetics. Whenever the first 2 weeks of this curriculum, they talk about creation. And if you haven't heard, man, I can't remember his name, something Braxton, but he talks about core. It's like basic apologetic. But he talks about contingency. So, like, God's not contingent upon anything. Like, he's outside of the creation. And so whenever we were doing that, Elliot was drawing creation, and I'm like, hey, Bubba, where are you? And he was like, what? And I was like, you're making something, right? He goes, yeah. I'm like, okay, where are you? You're the creator of this drawing. Where are you at? And he looked at me and he was like, I'm here. I'm like, right? And the picture's right here. He goes, yeah. And I'm like, that's God. And I was like, God is outside of what he created, what he made. And that just clicked with him. So just things like that, like trying to weave in apologetics into our homeschooling, and things like that. So anyway, that is all I've got. I think that's all I have. So check out the other channels that I linked, and if this has been a blessing to you, if you are interested in homeschool and apologetics videos, then this is the channel for you. So please subscribe, like, and share with your friends. So thanks.